G'day viewers, welcome to the Altona Truck and Trade show for our special edition of Truck That. We got invited along to the show. We interviewed young Chris, who's one of the major organisers of the show at the Maitland event. And we've managed to interview a number of people here, including Yogi and Steve Grahame from Outback Truckers. We've gone and contacted NHVR, a couple of good drivers and a couple of others to sort of get a different range. Got to apologise to you for the music. You might like it and you might not, but we're stuck with it at the moment. We can't get rid of it. So you're going to have to live with that. It's been a good day. They've had lovely trucks, as you can see in the background there. Some really nice looking bits of gear. Had a bit of show and tell early with a few smoking up. So it's been a good day overall. Last night they had a bit of a dinner on, some snacks and a couple of beers. Very informal event for drivers to start off. Public open day today, and so far it seems to have gone really well. We've very much enjoyed being here, had lots of comment and feedback, and we'll be back to you with an interview and talk to you soon. G'day, I'm Rod Hannafy, and I'd like to invite you to join the Truck That Australia Drivers Club. We know there's a hell of a lot of frustration out there. We hope there's a lot of blokes that want to do something positive to change the industry and how we're seen. So we have three platforms. We have Safe Home, Safe on the Road and Mateship. Go to www.truckingnation.com.au, join up and help us improve how we are seen. G'day, we're here at the Altona Truck and Trade show and we're talking to Junior from JMT Trucking. His truck caught our eye and we thought we'd come over and say hello and ask him a couple of questions about the industry and about the truck.
Yep.
So give us a bit of history on the truck, mate.
Truck's a Peterbilt, 2015, 389. It's got an E6 Cummins in it. It just runs all over pretty much. Melbourne, Adelaide, Brisbane, Sydney.
So how long you had it and where'd you get it from?
I've had it 4 months.
Yeah.
They come from Truckworks over in South Australia.
Oh, righto. So the history of it was it used to be one of the tow trucks, was it?
It was the tri-axle tow truck that he brought over from America. So.
And what made him change over? Did you ask about the history of it? Have you got a sort of record of it? Or?
No, not really. No? I've got a couple of photos of it, that's about it.
Yeah. And then what caught your eye with the truck?
It's a Peterbilt.
So what's the best thing about a Peterbilt?
Just the looks. The looks, the rides are better. The ride's better than a Kenworth, that's what I reckon anyway.
Yeah.
So, and just people, it catches their eye.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So have you got anything else you're going to do to it, or you're pretty happy with it the way it is?
I've got a couple of stickers getting made, like the name of it. I've named the truck, so.
Oh yeah, what are you going to name it?
High Roller.
All right, yeah, excellent.
So yeah, I've got to get that on the bunk. And
yeah, there's not that many Pete's here, but they are growing and they're very popular. And
Kenworth's trying to stop us importing them.
Well, it's not actually Kenworth, it was the change in the law for cars, and by default it's actually affected the trucks.
Oh, right.
So where they're trying to make the cars compliant with our ADRs, and they wanted to change the law for that, the trucks have fallen into line behind it, and there's a lot of blokes arguing against that at the moment, saying we want a fair go to get these trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, mate,
that's understandable.
Much.
Yeah,
thanks very
dramas.
much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Too easy, thank you.
Good on you, mate. G'day, we're here at the Altona Truck and Trade show with Steve Grahame from Outback Truckers. G'day, mate, how's it going?
Yeah, good, Rod. Good to be with you, mate. Good to catch up.
And how are you finding the show so far? Like, this is a bit of a new thing for you, getting into this sort of thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yogi Kendall gave me a ring and said, you better come over and have a look. And it is a new thing, but I'm really enjoying it. It's really good to catch up with people, and I'm starting to get an idea of how much just normal people out there appreciate what we've been trying to put across on the show.
Well, that's certainly a question. I'd like to know what's the best part and the worst part. Like, the show's been going for a while now, and look, I think you've got a lot of followers. You're one of the most genuine blokes on there, along with Yogi. He's a bit more out there, but you're very genuine. So in doing it for that long, what's been the best part of the show and the worst part?
Oh, Rod, the best part is seeing how is trying to get the message across to mainstream Australian people that we are people like them. That we're not mongrels. We're not out there to give them a hard time. We're granddads. We're dads. We've got families, and we're just, mate. We're part of the general public.
Truckies are human too. I've actually got that on a t-shirt, mate.
Thanks, mate. That's what I'm trying to say. We're humans like everyone else.
Yeah, but they don't recognise it, and they don't certainly recognise what we do for them. And until we show them, I think we've got a long way to go to get their respect in some ways.
That's true, yeah. And I've been proud to be part of being able to showcase that. I didn't get it at the start, but the feedback I'm getting now, yeah, I'm good.
So what's the worst part?
Oh, mate, look, like all industries, there are some dickheads in it, and unfortunately they've been showcased on the show, but any industry's got some idiots in it, and yeah.
Yeah, we're not all perfect. We make mistakes, but of course most of us go to work with one thing in mind, and that's to get home safely.
That's it, Rod. We all want to come home at the end of the day. No one goes out there on the road to have a drama during the day.
No. So, and Yogi gave me some news. You're doing a big trip over to the UK to Truckfest over there. That should be very interesting.
Mate, yeah, I'll see how I go. I'm glad Yogi's going. I'll hang on to his coat.
Oh, hold your hand.
This is going to be a big new experience for me. But
yeah. Well, last year in the UK they had a big show called Convoy in the Park.
Yep.
And they had the most number of Scanias anywhere in the world in one place. They got the Guinness Book of World Records. So it's a lot of trucks, and there's a lot of people over there in the industry. It'll be good to see the difference over there.
It will be. No, and it will be good to talk to the people. I mean, I see those cab over trucks. I see their approach. I see the different trailers, and I'm really interested in catching up with that part of it, Rod.
Yeah, I see there's a bloke been trying to get a B-double up over there for many years, and of course they won't have a bar of it. Their roads aren't really big enough.
No.
They don't understand what we do here, but it'll be good to see something from their side. And what, you're going to take some copies of the videos over and give a few out while you're there?
Look, I'm sure Prospero will be having us do that, mate, without a doubt. Yeah, people over there are really interested in Australian long distance trucking.
Yeah, you go to the States, it's the same. They're sort of very interested in our road trains and that sort of thing.
And I think they also love our outback. They like to see the bush. They like to see the challenge. That's the feedback I get. They like to see a big open country, mate.
Yeah. So where do you reckon the show should go? What do we do now to continue the work of the show? What do we do to make the public understand our job?
Oh, Rod, that's a hard one. It's a bit out of my league, you know. At the end of the day, I'm a truck driver. I don't know. It's caught me by surprise the way it's growing.
Yeah.
It's a hard one for me to answer that one.
But never give up, mate. That's the plan.
Well, that's our business. You've always got to deliver.
Yeah.
You know, when we put it on the back, mate, we've got to get it there. So,
yeah.
I suppose that applies to the show and getting our message out there.
And they've been pretty true to you. Like obviously, Yogi spoke last night here about being on the show and how it's worked and some of those things that have gone on. And they certainly like the excitement when something goes wrong. I hope the crew will give you a hand to dig you out when you got bogged.
Well, a couple of times you ask for a hand, and you know what the answer is? Mate, we've got to film it. we can't be part
But they didn't even get their feet dirty?
Oh, look, occasionally they have. But generally they are good people.
Yeah.
They are really good people. You end up mates with some of them.
Yeah.
On the Series 1, it started off with a camera crew. My job got harder and harder and worse. I ended up with one cameraman in a Tojo, hanging off a chain, tied behind my last trailer, and I'm watching in the mirror as the Tojo's getting swept downstream. Get out the other side, Tojo's full of water, he's shivering and holding his camera, but you end up mates with people like that.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks very much for your time, mate. I hope you enjoy it here, and good luck with the rest of it. We really appreciate the effort you've put in.
Look, Rod, thank you, and you keep going with what you're doing, mate. We really appreciate having someone like you that's out there trying to get our point across, trying to get us a few more rest areas, trying to get us working with the RVs and the caravanners, getting people to understand we're human. Good on you, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thanks David.
Rod.
As you can see behind me, some really nice old trucks here. We've certainly got to look after those old trucks. We can't lose them. There's a lot of talk about pushing for new trucks in the industry, and it's well and good to say that they have the new technology, but do we lose all that heritage? How do we keep any of that history alive? There is so little written about our industry in the past, so little documented history, and blokes coming into the industry now, where do they learn of that? Where do they understand what it's like, and those people that have given their lives to get the industry to where it is now? You'll find in one of our interviews, we talked to a young bloke there, he's got a beautiful truck, and he was a bit negative. He said, look, it's not what it should be. And that's where we want you to help. I can't do it, Steve can't do it, Yogi can't do it. But if we all make an effort, and we're not asking you to give up your day job and become political lobbyists or supporters, we simply want a little bit of help. And that's what the Truck That Australia Drivers Club is all about. 4 things. You can do 1 thing a month, you can do 2 things a month. And if we get 100 blokes to do that, we will make an enormous difference to how our industry is heard. And over time, I think we will get a result. So we're working on it, we've registered the club, we're another step forward, we're just setting up an account. As soon as we got that ready, we'll have it out there. Yogi is 100% behind it, or 1,000,000% if he's that keen. So we really welcome his support. It's been good to be invited to a show like this. We get to put the truck in front of people, we get to talk to them, and I hope that you really enjoy the interviews. It gives us a wider perspective. It gives us views from those in other sectors of the industry, both from those on the road and those that control parts of the industry. So we welcome your comments, we welcome your feedback, and we'll be back shortly. G'day, welcome to Glen Schmidtke. He's the driver of the ATA safety truck. How you going, mate?
Good, Rod. Thanks, mate.
Welcome to the Altona Truck and Trade show.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, so what's your view with attending these sort of events?
I believe that it's very important for us to be part of these events so we can show the industry people what we're out there attempting to do for them, and that is educate the people from outside the industry, the members of the public, on how they can share the road safely with us. We aim for the 16 to 25 group with our truck, because if we can get to them now, our drivers on the roads later on, hopefully, will get on a lot better with them.
Yeah, we've got a long way to go in doing that. We've got to start young, we've got to get them when they're young, and you've been doing this for a while now, so
Yes.
what's your overall view of the trailer, and is it working, and what's the next step? What do we do else to improve that situation?
I have been doing it for a while. I did it as a volunteer when the truck was in Newcastle for 3 years before I started with the ATA, and I've been doing it there now for about 7 years. So the truck is working. Areas that we go to and assist industry members who run programs, or people like Rotary that run programs around the country and do road safety programs with the year 10, 11, 12s. In those areas where we've been working, the statistics are showing that it has worked, because the serious accidents for that age group have really gone down.
Oh, that's excellent.
So the proof's there. Obviously, I'm one truck and these groups are single, but if we could get everyone in the community to go and do it, it doesn't have to be my truck go along to it. Companies that are in local areas, they can supply a truck and a driver just to go along and talk, show the children through the truck, show them the blind spots, why you don't cut in on us, put them in the cab, get them, because that's important. Park a car on the left-hand side of your prime mover when you're there, put them in the cab and get them to see that they can't be seen. And you get them into that and just teach them that little bit, and we get that knowledge passed on and get this generational change happening.
Well, one of the things we're hoping to do is the Truckies Top 10 Tips, and all the games in
Yes.
there are based on the Top 10 Tips.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to do some filming so that goes into licence training, so that when you sit for your licence, you at least look at that. It's visual, they remember it, and when they get out on the road, hopefully they have a better understanding of what we do on the road.
Well, that's right, and you know about the top 10 tips. You were involved in the generation of them. We put them out in our videos that we have running and also on the iPads that we have inside. The truck's due for a change because it's been in this configuration for 4 years, so the wrap and that only lasts so long. There are people working on the new generation of what it'll be. I've been through 3 different configurations of it, so we'll see what happens. But the message basically stays the same because it works.
Yeah.
And that's the message we need to get across to people.
So is the ATA calling for input to the next generation? I know they did last time. They asked for people's thoughts and things, and that was really good to involve others in the industry. Is that going to be done this time?
They have involved people from the industry. Melissa Well has been running the program in there. They've also got a university down here in Melbourne, where we are at present, involved in putting a package together and working out if we can do improvements, what those improvements can do, and the best way to put it forward to that age group, because the people who are working on it are the age group we're aiming at.
Oh, that's excellent. Oh, well, thank you very much for coming along, and thanks for your time, Glenn.
No, thanks for the invitation. Thanks very much.
G'day, I'm Rod Hannafy, and I'd like to invite you to join the Truck That Australia Drivers Club. We know there's a hell of a lot of frustration out there. We hope there's a lot of blokes that want to do something positive to change the industry and how we're seen. So we have 3 platforms. We have Safe Home, Safe on the Road, and Mateship. Go to www.truckingnation.com.au, join up and help us improve how we are seen. G'day, we'd like to welcome Simone Reinertsen from the NHVR. She's the stakeholder specialist, and we're going to talk to her about EWDs, rest areas, and the NHVR's role in our life on the highway.
Great, thank you.
So Simone, 3 things that we're going to discuss.
Yep.
EWDs are very topical at the moment. We've had some people in the press talking about what's happening elsewhere and saying how they want things done. But as drivers on the road, we really need to know what the NHVR position is, because otherwise we're in the dark and we're only listening to what others are telling us, and
Sure.
that's not always true.
Yeah, absolutely. And we get that across a number of different things within the regulator. And one of my jobs is to help dispel those myths and to work with operators who are feeling a bit nervous about different things or just need more information. So as a point of contact, I'm here for operators to connect with. So EWDs are voluntary, and that's the biggest message, I suppose, that we would love to get across first and foremost. It's not just because it's a good idea, it's not something because the regulators just thought, yeah, let's do this. The drivers actually come from industry. So we have a number of industry players who are already managing their work and rest time with an electronic system. What this change does is actually allow them to integrate that into their business and allow them to have that as an accredited way or a regulated way of managing their work and rest time. So there's an option to either continue with the written work diary or to move across to the electronic work diary. Yeah.
And it suits some people, it won't suit all, and
No.
that's where, of course, some are concerned that there's talk of it being made mandatory. That's what's happened in the States.
Sure, right.
But at this stage, NHVR is committed to bring it in as an Australian thing in our way,
Yeah.
and to make it flexible enough for everybody to get what they need out of it.
Yeah, that's right. And the voluntary thing, again, is the way that we're going. We're not looking forward to making it something that's compulsory. It's really there to improve safety, improve efficiencies, allow businesses to really understand the depth of what their drivers are doing and to help make improvements.
So the one thing that sits behind that,
Yeah.
that is just so critical to everything we do, is rest areas.
Yes.
And like NHVR doesn't have the responsibility for them,
No, that's
but we
right.
certainly want your help to push the authorities, to push that when roads are built that they get included, because how do we manage our fatigue? And if you follow what's happening in the States, like they don't have enough rest areas,
Yeah.
they have issues with parking, and we don't have enough here, and yet if somebody doesn't help us push that, we don't get those facilities, then we can't do the best to manage our fatigue. And can we rely on the NHVR to help us with that?
We're definitely supportive of more rest areas, and you're right, it's not in our remit as such. However, there's a lot of local governments and jurisdictions that are working in this space and are looking at freight efficiencies and ways that they can make things safer for operators on their roads. We get involved with local governments quite often when they're putting in submissions for funding. So we work with them, we understand what their requirements are, and then we are able to support them with those funding applications. So certainly if the NHVR can add weight to those applications, please contact us. We'd be interested in being involved.
Well, we'd love something maybe from the top down that says we understand that we're going to do something. They are looking at national guidelines now, so that's a step forward,
yeah.
but that's not getting them on the ground, and that's what we need.
Look, absolutely. Part of our role is to encourage conversations, and that's where it really sits. We need to ensure that the needs of industry are represented, that associations put those industry needs forward, and that people who are designing and developing these roads, looking at improving freight efficiencies, don't just choose a location because it looks like a good idea from their office, but they actually get that information from drivers. They know where to build them and can actually look at including those in those freight strategies.
So our last point is going to be a positive for NHVR.
Yep.
Of course, you've taken over the role of the road authority in South Australia,
Yes.
the on-road officers.
Yep.
And I had a report back from a gentleman who runs over there that says the attitude has noticeably changed. Now, I know that's something that I've spoken with NHVR for some time, that we really want that national approach.
Absolutely.
And people don't want to get a ticket in one state and not in another and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it very refreshing that the driver said he's noticed a vast change. And what do you think of those comments?
Look, I think it's fantastic to hear that. It is a step in the right direction, and it's part of a much larger project with our national services transition as we're taking back responsibilities in each of those states. So yes, South Australia is the first to have those roadside officers, and it's fantastic to have them as part of the team. And we've got that opportunity now for harmonisation across roadside officers. As more and more states come on board, we have the opportunity to ensure that they're trained, that those grey areas that sometimes operators have seen out on the road are reduced, and that those officers have got that current information all the time. So yeah, it's exciting.
Well, thank you very much for coming along, and thank you for your
pleasure.
time today.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
G'day, we're here at the Altona Truck and Trade Show, and we're talking to Francis Waddell from Nat Road, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you finding the show?
Yeah, look, it's great. It's great turnout, great weather, and well organised for the inaugural event as well too. It's really good to see.
So we wanted to ask, what's Nat Road's role in coming to an event like this?
Yeah, certainly. Look, it's all about, I guess, supporting the grassroots level, things where we can actually engage with people face to face. It allows us also to ensure that we're visually seen with the industry as well too. And it's great today just to be able to have a chance to say good day, have a chat, and get to know people really.
And so where do you see Nat Road's role? Like, we have the union for drivers, there's a lot of big companies, there's a lot of small companies. Where does Nat Road fit in, and what does it offer to people as benefits of membership?
Yeah, certainly. The thing would be is that Nat Road is there to support the business within businesses within the transport industry. So if you're a small owner operator, all the way through to your large businesses as well. We have a range of different benefits which are from our partners, and then also we have internal team that can assist with advice from a range of IR to HR to compliance to policy, just about any issue really. You can pick up the phone and have a chat to someone direct to be able to discuss any of your requirements. And then what we do is, bigger picture side of things, we then advocate for the best interest of the road transport industry to state and federal government, and also to the regulators and also businesses such as like the ATO as such.
Yeah, and of course Nat Road is a member of the ATA, so you've got all the state-based associations, you've got livestock and bulk carriers and others, but
Yeah.
Nat Road is really the only national-based industry association.
That's correct, yes. So we are the only national member-based organisation that supports the road transport industry, and together we're involved with obviously all the other associations to obviously do the best thing that we can do for the businesses.
All right, well, we hope you have a pleasant day here, mate, and good to see Nat Road along, and thanks very much for the interview.
Fantastic, thanks so much.
Cheers, mate. G'day, I'm Rod Hannafy and I'd like to invite you to join the Truck That Australia Drivers Club. We know there's a hell of a lot of frustration out there. We hope there's a lot of blokes that want to do something positive to change the industry and how we're seen. So we have 3 platforms. We have Safe Home, Safe on the Road and Mateship. Go to www.truckingnation.com.au, join up and help us improve how we are seen. We're here with Jacqueline from Transport Women at the Altona Truck and Trade Show. G'day mate, how are you going?
I'm good, Rod. How are you?
Good, good. How are you finding it at the show?
I think it's great. I think it's a great turnout. We've had a really good morning with people coming past the stand, so we've had a really good time so far.
Excellent. I've seen there's a program with Transport Women now being involved with the Girl Guides, and I've read about it in one of the magazines. I think it's a really good idea. I see you've got a colouring in book there, and I just wanted to ask you what it was all about.
Well, now we've got this project going with the Girl Guides, so they can get a wheels badge. So they work through a project, so they work through their projects. They find out all about all the different roles in transport. So not just about the driver, but about forklifts, about all the back
logistics
yes,
and all that side of it, yes.
We found there's lots of different roles in here about all the different careers, all the different types of transport, road, rail, air, and all of that. And then they have this activity book they get, and then they get a wheels badge at the end. So,
excellent.
So that brings the transport industry into girls when they're younger.
Yes.
And the Girl Guides come up till they're quite old. I think about 25 they can be a Girl Guide. So Coralie and I are going to a snooze fest with 500 Girl Guides in May.
That'll be lovely.
So that'll introduce it not only to the guides but also to those leaders. So
yes.
We're really, really looking forward to taking this project out to the guides, but also the guides want us to go and talk to them at their guide halls when they have their meetings.
Yes.
So people from the industry, not just us, but from transport companies, and then we need transport companies that are going to allow us to take troops of Girl Guides to go to their depots and take them around and then learn more about trucks. So we're hoping that'll make them safer. They'll learn then about sharing and how big they are and sharing the road and about truck safety right from then. And hopefully they'll go home and talk about it to their parents and aunts, uncles, cousins, grandmas and so forth. So hopefully that'll carry on from there. So
that'll be another program to get younger people a bit more understanding and awareness?
Absolutely, yes.
So what else does Transport Women do? Like a lot of blokes out there probably don't get very much involved?
No, but we do have male members. We do have male members and we have a lot of male sponsors and we have a lot of men supporting us, obviously, or we wouldn't be here. So we encourage men to be involved. We encourage women to be involved. We support all types of people in the transport industry. So we have CEOs involved, we have different parts of the industry, so not just truck drivers, but we have, like I work as a transport manager for cold storage, Coralie's a transport scheduler, we have truck drivers, we have support industry personnel as members. We have a conference coming up in May here in Melbourne, so we're really looking forward to that. So we've got some other projects coming up that we're just signing on the dotted line now, so we can't really talk about them, and I've got one percolating in my head I need to talk to the rest of the board about, which hopefully will make a bigger appreciation of truck drivers out there. And I'm really, you have a project about rest areas, so you would have seen me on LinkedIn writing about that. So I've been in the industry since 1970, so very passionate about all of that. So,
we did an interview with Simone from NHVR this morning, and of course they're talking about EWDs, and I put pressure on her to say we need more rest areas and we need the NHVR to support that. So,
absolutely, yes.
And if we all work together, we will get something done.
Absolutely, and we need to work together. We need to work together. Everybody has to work together. The regulator, the truck drivers, the support industries, the road builders, the road authorities. The only way we're going to get it is if we all get on the same page, especially with the rest areas, because there's nothing worse. And everybody that's a truck driver, and everybody that's married to a truck driver or any relation to a truck driver realises that you get to a rest area and it's full. You have to go back out. The next one's full. You park on the side of that highway. It's not a very good rest.
No.
So we all have to get onto that. We all have to work on the fatigue. No use having fatigue laws if we can't sleep. So
exactly.
We really, really have to work on that. We have to have everybody supporting that.
All right, well, you'll have to keep us informed on these new upcoming projects. By all means, come back to us and we'll come and do an interview, and good to see the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much, Rod.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for coming along.
Thank you.
G'day, Yogi. How are you, mate?
Rod.
We're at the Altona Truck and Trade Show.
Yes.
It's been a very good day so far. Yes. Lots of nice trucks down the back there, and we've had sort of plenty of people come along. What's your views on the show? How's it working out?
The show's worked out really well. Thank you, Rod. Thank you again. Hello, everybody. We made the show for people.
Yep.
You know, so for people in the industry to come. So if people are supporting people, the show will survive. You know, it's a trade show, it's a truck show, it's everything. It's something that my kids can walk around. It's something that my wife can sit down, that she hasn't sat down all day. It's something that she can sit down and maybe just listen to a bit of music. It's something for the families, you know, like we really wanted it. So
I saw her up there dancing last night. Maybe it wasn't with you.
Would have been dancing with Jakey Smith.
Yeah.
So yeah, she got a bit of a thing for Jake. He's a good looking rooster, that bloke. There's no doubt about him. So and a good mate. And it's just nice. The atmosphere was nice last night.
Yep.
You know, we wanted that trade element. We want the relaxing Friday night, entertaining. You know, so yeah. So we're striving for something that we as an industry can relate to. You know.
Now, what's this secret desire I found out about last night? You have a secret desire for Peterbilt, mate.
Rod. Righto, yes. I would love a Peterbilt. I mean, show me any reason why you wouldn't buy one. You know, that's crazy. So I want one. I would want one, yes, but we have link force.
Well, we'll have to get one each, mate. We'll work on that in the future. We'll have to get Peterbilt from to come over here and give us one each.
Well, there's a bit like buddy, was it Glen Redmond, wasn't it? With the
Max
the Max Marmus and his day cab Mac that he had because he's too long.
Yeah.
You know, that's the dumbest thing. we bang on about this before. We can bang on about it again, but we would have Pete's. Pete's ride better. Everything rides better, you know, and it's just, yeah, we'd all have one. I'd love one. Of course I'll buy one. You know, if you just limit the trailer lengths, you know, limit it to 48 foot and keep 34 pallet B doubles, we'd all have one.
Yeah.
You know, why would we not? Why are people not wanting to be in control of our safety? And now a decent house and a decent ride and fatigue related thing is our safety. Everyone's banging on about safety, right, and trying to help the driver and trying to help everything we do. No one's helping me by giving me a decent ride.
Well, we spoke to Simone this morning from NHVR and we talked about EWDs. We also talked about the need for rest areas because we can't manage our fatigue without the rest areas.
Yep.
I asked her for support for that and they're prepared to give us a bit of a push because they're not responsible for it yet. But you and I can't do it alone.
No.
So we need someone's help. So we're looking at the Truck That Australia Drivers Club.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that, mate? Are we going to get your support for that?
What is my thoughts on that?
Yes.
Mate, I'm 1,000,000% behind you. Like, just hold me back. Hang on, here's me. Actually, there's me $50.
All right,
right, there you go, mate.
Well done. Yep.
That's bloody good, right? Don't tell Amanda I had money in my pocket. So, yes, I will be right behind you. Yes, I want to be there. Yes, we've spoke about this in the past. I want this.
Yep.
This is a genuine voice. I want the voice in the transport industry. I've lost my voice, but I want the genuine voice in the transport industry. We can deliver that genuine voice by doing this Truckers Club.
Yes.
You know, it's for us to be bettering the industry.
Yep.
You know, it's good. We can do it.
All right, so now you brought your young bloke along. We need your permission to allow him to chat and give us his views.
I Glen Kendall give Jack Kendall permission to speak to you guys. The boy's been around trucks. I think he was 6 months old when I strapped the seat in. Yeah. He done his first trip with me.
Yep.
He was in an Aerodyne.
Right.
Or in an Aerodyne.
Good trucks.
Good truck. Good truck. I had a road train on. And I had him in the seat over there and I give him some food because back then he ate mashed up food. He's eating what we eat now. He's got size 10 foot on him and he's 12 tomorrow. So back then he was eating mashed up and I'll never forget this. And Aerodyne, sitting a long way away. And he's sitting there eating this mashed up stuff and he's, blah. And he's just put it all down the window. And I'm just sitting there going,
don't you love kids?
He's looking, So Jack is brilliant. Like the stuff, when Jack was 4 years old, he did 12,000 Ks in a month.
Ah, awesome.
Right?
Big effort.
He done one to Cummins, Katanning to Cummins, back to Katanning.
Yep.
And then Katanning to Melbourne and back to Perth.
So do you think that when he actually gets to be about 60 or 70, he'll be able to say, I've done 1,000,000 K and blokes going to go, yeah, you're about 150 years old, mate.
What's yeah, that's right. Yeah. Jack's a good kid, and I really am a good or bad dad. You know, how do you look at things? You know, like you're away. The sacrifices we make are hard. This kid puts his mum through absolute hell when I'm away. You know, but he puts me through hell when I'm here. But you're good or bad. It's hard to look at as to how you gauge yourself. He's doing all right. He's growing up all right. He's banned from driving his car around the block at the moment. We've got 5 acres and an old paddy pom because he drove around when no one was there. But that's all right. He'll get over that. But he's been guiding machines off since he was 3. He unloaded his first header off the truck when he was 3.
Yeah,
he told me, combine harvester. He told me he could do it. He greases the truck. He's a good truck driver's son. Right?
I was away once for a couple of days and I was walking around Gladstone and I went to the bookstore and I picked up this book called Father Time.
Yep.
And it's about this bloke who's been a corporate millionaire, all things going well, and he decides that he's not doing the right thing by his kids and family, and he's going to go back and work 3 days a week and do his family. And you think, that'd be really nice.
Yeah.
But is it ever going to happen in real life with what we do? And it makes you feel bloody terrible, doesn't it? But what do? You've got to get out there and do the job.
Yeah. My parents are excellent to me, and my father's a retired truck driver now for this dementia. He started work at 21 years at 3:30 in the morning. You know, I never knew him in the mornings.
Yeah.
You know, and Mum worked 5 days a week. She left at 7 o'clock in the morning. So you know, we didn't have a morning structure. My parents are excellent. You can only think you know what you're doing because you've been taught right by your parents. You can only push your kids in the right or wrong direction. I don't stress about this young bloke. I think I've made the right decisions.
Good on you, mate. Well, come on in, Jack. So, is this, you've been to plenty of truck shows then?
A couple.
Yeah. And what do you think of this one?
One of the best.
One of the best? Yeah, good to see. And you've had a look at all the nice trucks?
Yeah.
Anything you got your eye on?
I like the yellow one back there.
Ah, yes. Yeah, that's a nice looking truck, eh? Yeah. Sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah.
1980, yes, they are.
Yeah. I said to Yogi before, I said, geez, do you wish yours sounds like that? She's got a good note to it. So, what's the best part of the show? Obviously, spending time with Dad's good.
Yeah. I like how he can just talk to everyone.
Yes.
So it's hard to get from point A to B with him, but like,
he gets sidetracked a bit.
You can't go aisle through aisle without stopping once or twice.
Yes.
Just to talk to people.
People love him. He's a good bloke. We love him too. So it's good to see that he brought you along, mate. And I'm glad that you had a good time. And I hope that you carry on into the industry.
Thank you.
All right, mate. Good to talk to you. Thanks, Jack. And welcome back to Truck That. We've asked you for a lot of things. We've asked for support and keeping an eye on what we do with the Truck That Australia Drivers Club. We've asked you to share our videos and to help us spread the word. And this time we're asking for something completely different. We're looking for a co-host. Stephen, who you can't see, and I both drive full time. We're on the road all the time. And we need someone who's keen and passionate and loves the industry as much as we do, because that's why we do this, to help and join and give us that sort of little bit more breadth, to cover a couple of the odd stories, to take part and assist us to lift this up another level. You probably all love watching me and hearing me talk, but we want someone else, different voice, different context, a different view, to put something out there and help us make it an even better show. So if you're interested, send us an email to admin@whitelinetv.com. See there on the screen, you'll find that. Let us know, give us a bit of a blurb, what you do, what your interests are, what you think you could bring to the program. So we'd really welcome that. Now, we've had a good day here. Everything's gone along pretty well. At this stage, we are planning to attend the Stone the Crows Festival. It's held in Wagga. It's now in, I think it's 6th year. It's one of the only venues where both the caravan fraternity and the motorhome fraternity come together in one place. I've been invited back. I've been there a couple of years. We're going to do a presentation there on Sharing the Road with trucks. We're hoping to film that. And one of the things we're going to do there is launch Truck That RV. Now, we're coming to you, and this in turn goes to the public, but we also want to engage the caravanners. We want to help educate them, and we're going to launch it there, get their feedback, and hopefully put out something that will help them understand us, have a bit of empathy for our job. We'll even give better coverage and depth to things like the video we did on sharing rest areas, because getting to those caravanners can be hard. It's a bit like our industry. You can get to some in the clubs, you can get to some through the magazines, but there's a hell of a lot of them out there as individuals we simply can't get to. That's where you can help us. You can tell your mates about the videos. You can tell your mates to share it. You can tell them what we're doing with the club and seek their involvement. So till next month, safe travelling to all. it's been a good day. These sort of events are often the only way we get to talk with the public. Thank you.
Yeah, mate.